Hello and welcome to Keywords Accounting Tutorial. Today we're going to be looking at assets. To begin with, let's assume that we have our own business and we want to know or determine the assets of that business. The first thing to do is to look at what the business owns. So ownership is very important whenever you want to talk about assets. Then again, we should be able to estimate reasonable value of what we're considering. So it's not enough to prove ownership, but you should also be able to determine a reasonable value for what you're trying to classify as assets. The other important thing to think about is we should be able to prove that we can generate future economic benefit. And what that means is, whatever that we want to consider to be part of our assets, once we sell it, we should be able to generate some funds, or once we use it, we should be able to generate some money from using it. So let's think about some assets. Here we can look at the cash the business has, we can look at the buildings, we can look at equipment and other important items with value left on them for the business. Let's look at this example. Assuming that the business has a building, the land is not part of it, that needs to be demolished. Now let's assume that this building has no life left on it, or is gone past its useful life, and we have to get rid of it. Now here in this case, ownership is very easy to be proven, but estimating value left on it is a bit tricky. And then again, because we're going to get rid of it now, estimating or determine that we can generate, or proving that we can generate future economic benefit is also another tricky bit. So in that case, classifying this building, which will be demolished, will be difficult. Or for us to consider it to be part of our asset. Now let me ask you a very important question. Assuming that the business has some workers, can we classify the workers as part of the asset of the business? Remember, we should be able to prove ownership, that is, whether we own the workers. And the question is, do we own them? Although we might have hired them to work for us, but it will be very difficult to prove that they are under our total control. Another thing is, can we estimate a reasonable value of the workers? Let's say that you pay them £15 an hour or £20 an hour, but that's not their value. You see, human beings are very precious and quite very difficult to estimate their value. In the sense that although we spend £15 or £20 on them, but that is not their value. Now the third point is not as difficult to prove as the first two, because here, when the workers come to work for us, we might be able to estimate the amount of money we will generate for the workers working for us. So proving that is not as difficult as proving ownership and then estimating their value. Thank you for watching, and hope to see you all next time. Bye bye.